Daniel Craig puts aside personal differences with Cillian Murphy to team up on Final 007. London, the eager spring of 2024. Daniel Craig, the legendary James Bond, feels he has completed his mission to bring the action film series into his story. After 4 Bond films, Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, Spectre, and a blockbuster that reached the top of the box office, he decided to stop, spend time with his family, enjoy the peace. The representative of Eon Productions at that time also prepared a plan to develop the final part, Part 7, but with any new actor, not Daniel. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the Hollywood stage, Cillian Murphy, the actor who is being sought after playing the villain Tom Riddle, young, in the series Harry Potter and the Fragmented Times and Oppenheimer, is also working hard on the political action film The Spectacular Deceiver. Here he plays an Anglo-American Special Forces soldier fighting in a world of espionage, assassination and political intrigue. The fateful moment occurred at an international awards ceremony in Monte Carlo in late June 2024. CG, both were nominated for Best Supporting Actor, Murphy for The Spectacular Deceiver, Craig for his role as James Bond in Spectre Remastered. The film was remastered in 4K and had additional scenes. On stage, the media had the opportunity to signal, the two of you are rumored to be colleagues who did not get along well. The first piece of news that went viral on social media, Craig once complained that Murphy was affecting the traditional James Bond message, although never expressed in public. This implicit understanding was still dug up by the media. Craig used to like Bond to be cool and witty, while Murphy was more artistic, deep and philosophical. Many die-hard Bond fans were concerned that Murphy's tone would dilute the edgy, wild spirit of 007. Media discussion and the absence theory. The press headlined, Craig broke up with Murphy? James Bond vs. lesser, Cillian Murphy, The Secret War? Interview channels raised the issue. Murphy answered gently, I don't know Daniel very well. But if there is a chance, I hope to talk and Cooper at E. Craig replied coldly, I only focus on Bond. If it's not Bond, I don't care. Although the words were not harsh, Craig's tone made reporters feel like there was something hidden. People whispered, he's CMS insecure when people mention someone bringing a spiritual dimension to Bond. At that moment, Hollywood had the opportunity to respond. Talk shows such as The Late Night Chat with Caroline Drake created a fan debate, traditional classic Bond, Craig, versus spiritual artistic Bond, Murphy. The audience was divided, the story spread. Daniel Craig returned to the set of Spectre Remastered. He filmed the final bonus scenes, with a tense Luke A. He asked himself, should I connect with a world of light, art like Cillian? He decided to stay silent, focusing on becoming the perfect Bond symbol, avoiding all controversy. Part 2, The Moment of Change - Unexpected Reconciliation. 2.1. The Spectacular Art Deceiver Premiere. At the end of August 2024, The Spectacular Deceiver premiered at the Venice Film Festival. Cillian Murphy stepped onto the red carpet, the flashbulbs flashing continuously. The press recognized Murphy's artistic dedication in the film, a night of emotional reporting. The story, politics, counterintelligence made the audience excited. Murphy spoke at the press conference. He talked about the film crew, but also glanced at the audience. His eyes drifted to the VIP seats, where Daniel Craig was revealed to be sitting, quietly. After the ceremony, backstage, a reporter noticed Craig present. He approached and asked Craig, "Were you impressed with Cillian's performance?" Daniel remained calm, replying, "I always respect talent. Cillian is a special forces soldier, he did his job well." The reporter was surprised, so Craig pushed the phone, smiled slightly. "It's just that the artists act in their own way." "I'm talking about Bond. Two different paths, both important. Just that much." But it was the first turning point. Craig publicly praised Murphy's acting ability and indirectly accepted the rival emerging from the spy film world. A chance meeting and understanding. In early September 2024, the first meeting between Craig and Murphy took place on a yacht to attend a UNICEF charity event in Cannes. The atmosphere was airy, the sea was peaceful, and reporters had no chance to create drama. Cillian approached Daniel. "I apologize if anything bad happened before. I never meant to touch Bond." "I just wanted to do my role well." Daniel looked straight at him. "I understand. Maybe I was too conservative." In the sunset, the two were moved by a sincere moment. Craig continued, "Cillian, if you need any help to play a cool role, just tell me." "I will try to help." Cillian smiled. "Really?" Daniel nodded. "Of course." The two shook hands, and the media recorded, "Bond and the Dark Lord reconcile." A newspaper article ran such a story and spread like wildfire overnight. 2.3. Behind-the-scenes friends and shared creativity. Both of them were surprised at the time. They quickly discovered a common passion, wanting to create a blockbuster action espionage humanity. During the evening on the yacht, the two exchanged ideas about storytelling. Cillian was interested in an emotional, complex James Bond, not just cold like the traditional image, while Daniel suddenly opened up, wanting to go deeper into the role of Bond, the inner scenes, the struggle with the ego, the pain. The ideas collided, and both were surprised to realize that they had the same thought. The inner details help make the character great. Later that night, Daniel sent an email proposing a collaboration. In the future, if the final Bond film had a psychological depth, for example, a reunion with an old lover, the ringing of an inner affair, they could invite Cillian to play a villain or an ally with inner conflict. Ian Productions also received the information quickly, initially skeptical, but thanks to Murphy's charm and Craig's assurances, they changed from wariness to interest. Part 3, The Offer to Join The Final 007 Film. 3.1. The Final 007 film revealed. At the end of 2024, at the dawn of the Hollywood spring of 2025, producer Barbara Broccoli officially announced, instead of casting a new actor, they wanted Daniel Craig, as James Bond, to return for Part 7, the final part of the Craig-era series. The working title, 007, Reckoning. The film will focus on Bond in middle age, facing a more powerful restructuring of the Spectre organization, the return of M. Ray Fiennes, the departure of Q. Ben Whishaw, leading to Bond having to change his strategy, experiencing loneliness, emotional decline. And an open door, creating the possibility of another hand working alongside Bond. Murphy was mentioned in many drafts of the script, a character named Alistair Crowe, a former MI6 agent, who was Bond's close friend in the past, but betrayed him, becoming an uncompromising opponent. A profound drama, Bond is forced to face the past, but through each step, the two realize that their friendship began before turning into hostility. An emotional script, making Bond act not only for the mission but also for the conversion, returning to the old beliefs. (3.2) The Fateful Lunch. In mid-January 2025, in a famous restaurant in the heart of London, Le Petit Trésor, Daniel Craig sat waiting. Opposite him was Cillian Murphy, still wearing a dark suit, aviator glasses, looking calm. The space was warm, the light was pale yellow, the sound of spoons and forks gently echoed in the air. Daniel began, "Cillian, I've seen the preliminary script. Even the scene where Alistair Crowe says I used to be friends with Bond before I became unforgivable, every line gave me goosebumps." Murphy on his face, "I feel the same way. Especially the scene where we talk under the moonlight on Big Ben. Trying to make Bond's eyes sparkle, partly angry, partly regretful." "I deeply feel the inner resonance," Daniel continued. "I think we should go through training, interactive rehearsals for the two roles." "Cillian, do you agree to be Alistair Crowe in the final Bond?" Murphy pushed up his glasses, his eyes sparkling. "I am so happy, thank you Daniel. This is a dream." Then the two hugged each other tightly. 3.3. Global announcement and overwhelming reaction. The information was widely publicized. Daniel Craig returned for the final Bond, and Cillian Murphy would play the four-faced villain, Alistair Crowe. The first trailers revealed the bubble. Bond meets an old friend. Two influential talents have made their mark. The media was abuzz. The traditional Bond fan base put their prejudices to rest. They welcomed this collaboration. Critics commented that this was a wonderful balance between tradition and character depth. An article in Vanity Screen magazine wrote, Daniel Craig and Cillian Murphy, a character combination full of contradictions, inner feelings and promises a new milestone in the journey of 007. In Teehee audition room and behind the scenes. The final part officially started filming in April 2025, at Pennywood Studios outside London. During the first rehearsal, Craig, as Bond, pushed Cillian, Alistair, to the tableau. No script, just an old look, a lingering feeling. Cillian replied, "James, I told you I was the only one." Standing next to him, director Guy Ritchie filmed carefully but still dramatic. Applause broke out from everyone. That was the first scene of the final part. We created a strong emotional explosion. Guy laughed. Daniel created an unexpected dramatic scene, when Cillian really captured Bond's disappointed expression. Murphy recalls, "I took a turn for the character's emotions. I've never felt so heavy with history." Daniel stood still, letting me create the greatest inner excitement for Alistair. The whole crew felt that this collaboration was completely different. It had a rare artistic quality in an action film series like Bond.